Kajillionaire, which is the new movie from Miranda July. And so here's the thing, right? Okay, I okay, fine. So if you'll remember, I mean, Miranda July, writer, director, performer, polymath, all round. Okay, I have struggled with the movies that she's written and directed. I mean, I thought the quirkiness of Me and You and Everyone We Know was very, very hard to get on with. And then the future with its talking cat. Remember the talking cat of the future? They talk like this, and and you said stop doing that voice. It's really annoying. And I said, yeah. Well, I had to watch
Still
them.
is.
Still is everybody as annoying as well. So anyway, this is Kajillionaire, which I think is, for my money, Miranda July's best film. I still don't like it, but I do think it's her best film. So Evan Rachel Wood stars as a character named Old Dolio. And apparently we find out at some point that she's named Old Dolio because I think this is right. She was named after somebody who won the lottery who was called Old Dolio. And the thing was that maybe they would therefore pass the money on to her. It didn't happen because her parents are small-time hustlers, scam artists, played by Richard Jenkins, who I like very much, and Deborah Winger, who I like very much. And they live this kind of ramshackle life, and they're currently staying in this kind of appendage to a bubble factory, and pink foam comes through the wall, and they've got these scams, that involve, like the scam that we see them doing is they discover that if they insure their luggage and they travel to New York and then they come back from New York, they can then get the insurance on the luggage, but they have to do the thing about traveling there, and then I mean, so anyway, there's an awful lot of kookiness and quirkiness and strange, weird off-kilterness. And anyway, they then meet up with Gina Rodriguez, who her favorite movie is one of the Ocean's 11, and she discovers that she wants to be a scam artist with them, and she suddenly starts to become the recipient of all the affection that Old Dolio never got from her parents, because her parents don't believe in being fake falsy or false fakey, fake falsy people. They're not the kind of people who who show affection in that way. And there lies the tension of the film. Here is a clip.
Melanie, meet Old Dolio.
Old what?
Dolio.
Old Dolio. Okay, I like that. I like that. See, this is exactly the kind of thing that I've been wanting.
Don't touch. Don't touch the table. I've been through trimmers a lot smaller than this. It just turns everything electric. It's like zap. Because this is the way the big one starts. But the noise, it just keeps building and building and building. This one's not good. The big one will be loud. I mean, if you're lucky, you'll get crushed. And then you just die right then and there. Immediately.
So all the way through the film, there are these recurrent earthquakes and this talk about the impending apocalypse. There's also, a whole bunch of other stuff, like a whole thing with a hot tub that isn't plugged in, and all the stuff with the pink foam. And then there's characters who've got a condition which means that they cry all the time, or because they haven't got any filters with their emotions. And there are other characters who never seem to do anything with their emotions because they're kind of in a mumblecore film. And somewhere in the middle of all of this, there is a story about the need to be nurtured and loved, and about parental legacies. And I think it's a film whose heart is in the right place, but it all just gets lost under this swathe of goofy, weird, melancholic, hazy, quirky, irksome, tragicomic whiffling about that. I mean, by the time the movie really starts to kick into gear, which is way into the second half, I had long started to lose patience with it. And I understand that the problem is partly mine. I have a very low tolerance for quirk. I just, I've said this before, and I say, quirky and irksome are very, very close cousins. And there are good things. I mean, it's well designed, and the performances are clearly what the performances are required for this particular piece. And it has a really terrific score by Emile Mosseri, who I think does a really good job of getting that kind of balance between the slightly ethereal and the awkward and the romantic, because there is a romance kind of at the center of it all. But it really, I find it very, very hard to emotionally engage with Miranda July's movies. I wish I liked them more. The other thing I know this is kind of heretical to say, but one of the things that happens is that song, Mr. Lonely, the Bobby Sock song, kind of comes all the way through the film. It's Bobby Vinton, isn't it, that original? And there's a sort of version of it which kind of floats through the film. And then the film ends with the performance with Mr. Lonely, with the original song. And I'm just sitting there thinking, well, the last time a film ended, can you remember the last time a film ended with Mr. Lonely playing out in its entirety? You remember that, Simon?
Remind me.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, putting aside the Harmony Korine Mr. Lonely film, Lemon Popsicle ends with Mr. Lonely. And I have to say that the ending of Lemon Popsicle, which plays out entirely to Mr. Lonely, is a better ending. And although I shouldn't say it, I actually think that for me, for all the things that are wrong with it, and boy, there are many, I think I got more out of Lemon Popsicle than I did out of Kajillionaire.
Well, and this is Miranda July's best film as far as you're concerned. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sure she'll be thrilled with that.